Okay, so we're going to look at number 1 through 6, and they want us to use the symbol here, proper subset, and we have to write a correct statement involving the two sets. So you should have learned either from an earlier class or from reading the lesson that z is the integers. So integers you should know as, so this symbol right here is all the negative whole numbers, all the positive whole numbers, and 0. It's also worth pointing out that the natural numbers in Europe, this symbol here, does include 0, whereas in the United States, this symbol only starts with 1. So since this is an IB course, this would be a 0. This set would include 0, 0, 1, 2, forever. So integers and this Q is the rational numbers. So this is the integers, this one, and I guess I should probably do a different color. This is the rational. So rationals are any number that can be written as a fraction, so a over b, and of course if you read any book it says b cannot equal 0. So that's a couple little notes there for you. So rationals you should know from previous courses or from reading a chapter. Those are your fractions basically. Those don't include square roots or any other irrational numbers like pi or anything like that. So what's bigger basically is what they're asking. And if you get into higher math, you'll notice that technically these are the same size, which that's a whole nother story. But we're just asked, which one belongs in which one. So if you have all the fractions, the integers would all fit inside. Every integer can be written as a fraction. So the way I like to think of this symbol is the same way I think of greater than or less than. So if you remember back in elementary school, the alligator's teeth, right, that eats the bigger number. So if I have z here and q here, which one is bigger? Well, q is bigger, so it would go like this. So that's what I would put for number 1. Okay, for number 2, what's bigger, the natural numbers or the rational numbers? Well, obviously the natural numbers are even smaller than the integers, so again, q is going to be bigger. So I would say n is a subset of q. Okay. Number 3, C is the complex number. So complex numbers includes I, the imaginary number, which we know is the square root of -1. All the things that involve I. So every single real number is also complex. The technical definition for complex numbers would be any number that can be written as a plus bi, where a and b are real. So obviously the complex numbers is a bigger set than the real numbers since it includes all the i's. So we would put, I guess if we want to write it in the same way, we could put that the real numbers are a subset of the complex numbers C. For number 4, here we have the integers versus the natural numbers. The integers are all negatives, where naturals can only be positive, so the integers would be bigger, so we would say that the natural numbers are a subset of the integers z. 5, z and z plus. Here you see the plus. This is basically, this means only positive, so that won't include 0. Oops. That won't include 0, but So it's not quite the same thing as the natural numbers. Remember, for us in America, it is, but in the European countries, they will use n for 0 and up. So we use n as 1 and up. Anyways, so what's bigger? Well, all the integers would be bigger than just the positive integers. So we would say z plus is a subset of z. Okay. All right, so the last one, number 6, natural numbers and real numbers. The natural numbers are definitely smaller than the real numbers, so we would say that n is a subset of the real numbers r. Okay.